Hello and welcome to our house. Yep, no big panoramic drones and cute kids in this video, sorry. We can still do music though. Hey YouTube, play some vlog music. No, not that, that's been done to death. Next. No, Casey's used that, he's trademarked it. If we use that, we're copying. Okay, that'll do. So I wanted to have a quick vloggy catch up with you guys. Just like you, we've been stuck at home for what feels like forever. We should have been showing you what it's like to live the life of Reilly in Florida, California and France. Instead we ended up going to Cornwall and Cardiff. Great places by the way, just not as glamorous, you know what I mean? In fact we're making a video about Cornwall, so hopefully that digs me out of that hole. We're now heading into the winter, the days are getting shorter, and I need something to look forward to for next year. Surely it'll be over by next summer. So we're planning to go to California next July, and if you're watching this video, I'm guessing you're looking to go there at that kind of time too. So I wanted to do some planning with you. We can do it together and speak to an expert from California. I've got Josh from California through my lens on the line to talk to us. Cool, Josh, thanks for joining us. What a year it's been. Started off with COVID as everyone kind of had. Then California seemed to come out of lockdown earlier than us. And then you went back in. Then you had lightning strikes, which brought the biggest wildfires California's ever seen. Then a firenado. How are you feeling?
It's been a rough year, that's for sure. I do want to point out that you have an In and Out shirt on, and that is strong, my friend. Nice on that. Yeah, I mean it's definitely been a rough year in California, as it has been for the whole world. I mean, dealing with the COVID pandemic and then just the crazy amount of wildfires we've had throughout the state this year. It's been one of those years you're definitely never going to forget, you know.
What's the deal with, let's say we start with COVID, what's the deal there at the moment? Do you feel like you're edging back out of lockdown a bit now?
Yeah, so we were in, kind of the lockdown, stay at home for a few months, and then they kind of opened most things back up again. And then after, I think it was 4 or 5 weeks, they kind of rolled everything back. So it's a little bit confusing to know, what's going on at the moment, but they have a color-coded county map that shows, the different counties and like what you can kind of do in those counties. Most of the counties I think are still in like the majorly affected area. So I think that some places you can go to a restaurant, but if you can, it's at a very limited capacity, like 10 to 25%. But a lot of places like in, LA County and San Francisco and some of those, they're still don't even allow, indoor dining, shopping, those types of things might not be allowed to. It kind of changes pretty quickly. It's like a little bit hard to stay on top of everything. So we're definitely not out of, the lockdown and all of the COVID stuff. And I don't know when it's going to be back to the new normal, right?
You don't have a crystal ball, huh? What about the fires as well then? Because I was looking up last night and there still seem to be quite a few ongoing.
And yeah, it's been a pretty horrible year for the fires. They're just burning like crazy. I think there was at one point, I think there was like 300 fires that were happening at the same time in California. California is so big and there's so much landscape to, so when you kind of have these fires start, sometimes they just pick up and more start. And it's been a crazy year for that for sure. And I think there's still at least a dozen or so bigger ones that are still burning. I know Yosemite National Park was closed for about a week just because of the air quality from some fires that were in the surrounding areas, made it so that you couldn't even see, anything in Yosemite, and the quality was too bad, so they had to close. Definitely a crazy year for fires for sure.
When the fires kind of usually come in like September, October kind of time, they're usually kind of out by January, I think, or that kind of time. Do you think that will be a similar thing for this kind of fire?
Yeah, it's so hard to tell. You never know. Because some of them have been, more natural, like you were saying, like lightning or something. But there have been ones that have been started by people as well. So it's always hard to predict when, someone will potentially like do something that would cause a fire. So this time of the year is definitely when we tend to see a lot more fires, and I have to imagine that there's still going to be a few, popping up over the next few months. I wouldn't be surprised.
So what's the state of play at the moment? Are people being told they can't come into California? Is it kind of not being promoted? I mean, it's not illegal to go into California from another state, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I think that California is still like able to be visited as far as I know. I'm not sure about international, but for people driving in and things like that, a lot of people were visiting the national parks because this was basically the only year of my life and potentially the only year of my life where a lot of international tourists were not going to California. So the national parks were a lot less busy. So I went to Yosemite with my dad in the beginning of the year, and we saw bears and we could park everywhere, and there was not a lot of people, and so a lot of people from outside of California have been coming in to kind of take advantage of some of those national parks. And I know a lot of people from California are leaving to visit other national parks like Zion and those in Utah. But in terms of coming to the traditional big cities like LA or San Francisco, I have to imagine that a lot of that is down right now just because so much is closed. There's not a lot to do as a tourist in those areas.
And it's crazy, even like Disneyland's closed, state parks have been closed. I know I've seen that Disneyland, like downtown Disney, seems to be opening a bit, which kind of, I'm guessing they're moving towards opening again?
Yeah, they've had a few dates where they've said that they were going to open, and then because of spikes and things like that, it's closed back up. So I don't know. I don't know what the most recent date is for Disneyland, but definitely crazy. To have that huge place be closed for so long. I mean, and a lot of the national forests have been closed too because of the fires. So right now, a lot of the national forests outside of LA that people hike in, those are closed. I know some of the Tahoe ones have been closed as well. So definitely not the best time to visit California with all of the different closures and things going on.
I know you haven't got a crystal ball or anything, but what's your best guess? I mean, we can't really predict COVID at all, but what would you say? Should we start planning for next year, next summer? Is that too soon, or do you reckon next summer's safe?
Yeah, I mean, it's so hard to tell what's going to happen with, especially with COVID. But I mean, one of the things that I've been doing that I know a lot of other people have been doing, that if you're into hiking and things like that, you can get out and hike and do a lot of the beautiful areas that California has from like an outdoor perspective, with still following those social distancing guidelines and things like that. So I mean, if you're interested in doing outdoor type stuff, I would imagine that early 2021 would be a good time to come do outdoor stuff. And in terms of like visiting San Diego, LA, San Francisco, I mean, who knows? It could be a month, could be a year, it's everything is so hard to tell.
Oh man, I was hoping you were going to give me the answer there and just say which date on February or March. No, great. So
the answer. You can plan my trip too.
Hey man, you'd be a rich man if you could predict it. How's it been for you and your channel? Because has it given you some opportunities to go out and film some places you'd never have gone normally, do you think, or is it just put you into lockdown and a bit tougher?
Yeah, well, for someone like me who, I mean, this is my full-time job is traveling and doing all of that. It's been probably the least amount of travel I've done in like the last 8 years during this time, which it's been a little bit nice to have, a little break from travel to catch up on some things and, do some of those house projects that you put off for a long time. But if I've traveled, it's been just outdoor stuff. I've done a couple road trips with my dad, did a road trip with my mom where we kind of just stayed in the outskirts, did some hikes and, stayed away from people. And it's been great to just kind of see some of those beautiful areas without a lot of people. But in terms of actual travel, I mean, I'm basically just at home like everybody else, waiting to see, what the change of the seasons and things like that are going to bring to all the different stuff going on right now.
Fingers crossed, man. Thank you so much for coming on.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
So there you go, check out Josh's channel, California Through My Lens. He's got loads of really detailed vlogs, great pictures, but also some great nuggets of information from a local. So after speaking to Josh, I think we are going to plan to go out there next year, help get the state back up onto its feet, and have something to look forward to. We're thinking of making a few more of these little vlog videos in between our big monthly uploads, so let us know if you like that idea. And to get us through the next few months while we're doing our planning, remember our playlist up here of California videos, loads of great content for you to watch, and we've uploaded a few more during lockdown too. Legally, I have to finish a YouTube vlog by saying please like and subscribe so you don't miss the next video. Hey YouTube, put the end screen up. Oh no, I forgot to say goodbye.